Hey, Earth Angels. Brother Gil here. Happy Saturday. I pray that everyone under the sound of my voice is just having an extraordinary beginning of a delicious Saturday and an awesomely delicious weekend. I won't be long. The Spirit just wanted me to sing some Agape Love in the universe and to just speak from a place of love and joy in me, to try to answer a few questions that people have asked me over the past few weeks and such. And I had to think about it because sometimes you just don't know how to respond immediately, and we don't want to sound any sort of way but truthful and open and receptive to real questions by people who are truly concerned. And so I won't be long today, and I am going to try to be thorough and speak with a lot of love. Okay, you're listening to a song that I wrote called October 3rd, so we're gonna tone that down. And okay, I was asked, excuse me, those of you who kind of know me, and those who do, and those who are learning me for the first time, my background is Broadway musical theater and performance. I am an old school thespian, and I thank God for the blessings that He has allowed me to acquire from the early days of learning that theater is what theater was, and how a part of my organic spirit was just unbeknownst to me connected. And so I was very blessed. People saw in me what I never saw in myself about theater. Literally, I did not know what theater was until Sherry Gail Reynolds, the high school drama coach at Franklin D. Roosevelt High School here in Dallas, Texas, came to me and gave me this page of stuff, all these words, and I was a very precocious child all growing up, and so people would ask me to do things, and I would just do it. Okay, yeah, I'll try it. And so she gave me this. Now that I understand to be prose, a piece of prose, she said, "I want you to come with me this weekend and read this." I said, okay. We didn't have band practice. We didn't have a game that weekend. So, okay, sure. So I go, long story short, I go to this now that I know, then I discovered tournament, speech tournament, Artorco, whatever. In grade school, it was called the Artorco contest. But in high school, it was a speech tournament. So you got kids from all the high schools all around, et cetera, et cetera. So I go into this room, the auditorium, with all these people, and they call my name, and I get up and I read this thing for this panel and whatever. Long story short, at the end of the day, they called us all back in the auditorium, and they called my name. I went up on stage. They gave me a medal, and people were applauding and this and that and that. I went, oh, this is interesting. I kind of like this. Long story short, Sherry Gail Reynolds got me a scholarship to the eldest drama school in Texas, which was at that time Lon Morris College. One of the best choices I've ever made. And I almost didn't go. These people came up on my job. The dean of drama and the technical director for theater came up to my job in Dallas. I was working at Treasure City. Some of y'all may remember Treasure City from back in the day. Came up on my job, and so I took them in this room. I did a poem. They thanked me. They left. I said, okay. Before I got home, they had called, and luckily my mom was home, because we didn't have cell phones or answering machines back then. And so I guess there were answering machines, but we didn't have one. They offered me a full scholarship to Lon Morris College, one of the best choices I ever made. And I got in right under the wire. I almost didn't go, but Since, okay, but I made a choice to get in, and I went in, got in right under the wire. I'm telling you, one of the best choices I've ever made. So now I know what theater is, and then I was introduced to dance, and I always knew I had a voice. I've never studied voice per se, but I come from a long line of singing people. Long story short, from that incident, I was blessed to do some work here in Dallas, where I met the late great Larry White, who introduced me to what was called the CETA program in Los Angeles. And so I was able to go out to California and study at the Inner City Culture Center. Another wonderful choice in my early development. So the best of the best who were working in LA came through Inner City. George C. Wolfe was one of my teachers there at the Inner City Culture Center. It was a melting pot. It wasn't New York. I missed the Negro Ensemble stuff. But LA had the Inner City Culture Center, which was comfortable. And so I was blessed to learn and train and discover all of these magical things from these brilliant, brilliant artisans. And so my career became a challenge. People have asked me, Gil, why aren't you still doing theater? It's a very interesting dynamic. And there are layers, because once you realize what your calling is and you do it and you've done it at the highest level, which Broadway is the highest level in theater, musical theater, it doesn't necessarily translate into, all the fame and prestige and all of that society recognizes. However, if you are rooted in who you are and what you do as a thespian, and you know that is a calling in your life, which I do, the glory and the majesty of being a thespian, doing theater, it lives regardless. You understand me? And so, moving forward into where we are today, after COVID, COVID changed a lot in our present day society. It changed the mindsets and the faith centers and the courage and it changed us in many ways. I have to include myself in that because it challenged my faith also. But I'm old school, and so because of all those layers and layers and layers of things that happened during and after the COVID issue, things have changed. Nowadays, in order to work, in order to enter in some theaters, you have to show proof of having taken, vaccinations. I don't support that. I'm not one of those people who believes that, I don't believe in the vaccination. So I don't trust it. I don't put it in my body. God hasn't put that in my spirit yet. And so on one level, the reason I'm not doing theater is because I have not mandated to the rules now to do it. However, I'm doing theater right now, if you will, to me, because that's the love and the level of life that theater is. We are theater. I am theater. Theater is me, if you will. So that love and that reverence that was taught when I was training still lives. And so I celebrate it even when I'm not doing it. Just in conversation with others, I use some of those principles innately to communicate clearly, to listen and understand more clearly, to work on patience and not just listening to respond, but listening to understand. All of those things for me as an old school thespian helps me to stay sane. And then because I do so many other things, I write a lot of music, and so that I'm feeding that spirit, that organicity daily. I have to, in order to stay sane. I hope that answers that question. Then I was asked, well, why don't you go out? Why don't you write your own show? Why don't you get up and produce your own thing? You should be out there doing what you do. And I received that. I really do. And I'm going to be quick here because I've been here long enough already. Just know that those things are in the works, that I am creating always, always, always. And one never knows how that creativity is going to latch hold to an opportunity. My plan and my goal is to just be ready. Everybody's not going to help me. You feel me? And I'm okay with that. I understand that. But somebody is. And in the right season, Brother Gil will be back. You feel me? Not that I've gone anywhere, but everything in its proper time and season. I understand more of what life's changes dictate. But if God be for my calling, and I believe he is, I am not missing a single blessing, but I'm in preparation. Brother Gil loves you. God loves you too. Do something wonderful for yourselves today and for someone else. And always know, as the Queen said, don't ever give up on you. Don't ever stop loving you, trusting you, believing in you. Don't you ever give up on you. Peace and love, y'all. Brother Gil loves you. Okay. Bye.